goodness me. That's the number 6 Ryan Parkin Audi TT that has parked up at the side of the racetrack in the middle of this formation lap on the exit of the Brundle and Nelson complex. Now, will we have a delayed start for that?
I think we'll have to, unless he can get that car moved pretty sharpish. Yeah, I can see the marshal's got the green flag, so it looks like they're going to wave them through for another green flag lap rather than anything else. Yeah, so the clock is counting down, so the race has got underway behind the safety car. So we're into the first of the 45 minutes of this race, but it's an immediate safety car, effectively, because we need to recover that car of Ryan Parkin that was due to start 4th.
So I was saying there are 2 of those Audi TTs from Darkside Developments and a swap between the Parkin brothers at Silverstone, I believe. Scott started the year with the slightly more advanced car that he'd been driving for a couple of years with the sequential gearbox and slightly fancier suspension, but gave that car to his brother Ryan, which is the one that's just pulled up to the side of the road at Silverstone. The car that Scott is driving is slightly more old-fashioned with the H-pattern gearbox, and said that he actually prefers driving it, even though technically it is slower, but slightly more manageable for him. But clearly Ryan Parkin coming across some sort of drama on that formation lap. The good news for Jonathan Packer, who I assume is starting the number 5 VW Golf, who has just left the pit lane, actually. Of course, this safety car means that he can just roll up to the back of the queue.
Yes, exactly. So as a reserve getting into the race. So just looking, because that will make it 45 cars on track, because we now no longer have the Ryan Parkin car on track. So who will replace that car effectively in the race?
There was one deleted from your list.
There was,
but is that the one that was missing that has allowed Packer into the race? I wonder.
Well, as I say, it's TSL are showing 46 cars on the list, including Packer now. So I think, the Rayner car is shown as being there, but possibly that will disappear on this. So it's either way, Packer's got into the race.
That doesn't really matter, does it?
So officially now under safety car conditions. What we've not seen is any update on the recovery of Ryan Parkin, so we'll see if we can get our cameras looking at that in a minute to see if we've got a recovery truck on the scene, but it did look like that was going to need a full lift. I can see the 750 Motor Club rescue unit just going past our commentary position, because of course that would have trailed the cars around at the start of the race had we gone proper green light racing. There's a vehicle just heading out of the exit at the end of the the Bentley Straight. That will no doubt go to deal with that car, but it is the Golf, the 750 Motor Club Golf, that's leading them round at the moment. You're just looking at the CCTV there, Chris.
Yeah, we've got some handy dandy cameras inside the commentary box here. So the recovery vehicles have now made their way to the stricken Ryan Parkin car, and that recovery is now underway. So I imagine it will be another lap of safety car, given that they're already coming up to the spot on the circuit where the Audi TT has been parked. Yeah,
at least one more lap then. So realistically, we're probably going to have 35 minutes or so of this race by the time we've had 2 laps behind the safety car. So sadly, it does eat in significantly to the amount of racing laps that we're going to get here. It's still a bit of a mystery as to what happened there, because your instinct was the contact, but I just wonder if it was a failure.
My immediate suspicion is that they've all been weaving around trying to get some tyre temperature, and has maybe clattered into someone. But it sounds like Kieran's got more news on that front.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm just outside the Darkside Developments garage at the moment, and it just seems to be a part failure. Under braking going into that corner, he went on the brakes and the bottom arm just gave way. You can see there's a line down the track where the wheel went underneath and it got caught in the wheel arch, but it just looks like the bottom arm has come off and snapped. Real shame, obviously, because that car's going to be one of the ones that's going to be fighting for the win at the front of the race. So big shame, but they've still got one car in it. But yeah, it was the bottom arm that snapped off, just a part failure. It's unfortunate, but these things happen in motorsport. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Kieran. So confirmation there from the Darkside pit.
1-0 to Ian.
I wasn't counting. So that is unfortunate. So at least one more lap behind the safety car. It's a long lap, of course. So hopefully if this lap is driven sufficiently slowly, you might be able to go racing again at the end of this lap. I say go racing again, we've not gone racing at all yet, but we are behind the safety car with that car needing to be recovered. So it is still on brakes now. He's got parking that leads the race from number 117. Martin Gadsby in second. Paul Simerson, number 55, is third in the BMW. Number 222, Darren Goes, is in fourth position. And he is in the Audi TT TCR car. Fourth, so he's fourth. Fifth is the Major and Blanco car. And sixth is Paul Browse. All of those Class A cars, of course. Mark Burton, best of the Class B cars. And the Perry and Banks Gillette are the best of the Class C cars, just actually on screen now as it makes its way through the Wilson hairpin.
Excited to see how the GT4 BMW starting in third position goes, because we've had an awful lot of TCR machinery out in our mini and full endurance championships, as we can see the Ryan parking car now on the back of the low loader. Yeah, interesting to see how that GT4 goes up against the TCR. Of course, I imagine it's carrying quite a bit of weight in comparison to its SRO homologation, for example. But it has got a rather handy driver at the wheel in the form of Paul Simerson, a Ferrari Challenge racer.
Yeah. I think it was at Donington Park probably last week for that particular series. Just a reminder of the classes. Class A is for what's called Super GT cars with up to 300 brake horsepower per tonne. Class B, the GT class, for cars up to 240 brake horsepower per tonne. Class C, Super Sport up to 180, and Sport class up to 145 brake horsepower per tonne in Class D. And yes, so there will be some playing around with weight to get the cars to fit into a class at a competitive level. If you're in a forced induction car, it's got to be 5 brake horsepower per tonne lower than the class limit as well. So there's also that sort of modification to the regulations as well. It's a very popular category, as you can see, with the number of cars that have been attracted to this, especially with this being the first year of championship status as well for the Tegiwa Roadsports Championship, as it now is, and good spread of cars across all of the classes. Classes A and B, I think B in particular the most popular in terms of the numbers that it attracts, but good numbers in each of those classes. Right, so the safety car trailer is about to come past the scene where Ryan Parkin was being recovered.
The recovery truck is just departing the scene now.
Okay, so it's probably a little bit too late, really, to get the race underway this time, unfortunately.
I'm afraid so. There will be another lap under the safety car. There's nice examples of the TCR machinery I was talking about there, not just the Seat Cupra, but also the Audi RS3 as well. Again, with some modifications to their TCR specification, but nonetheless a great machine to have out there. I think we are going to go.
I think the safety car. Oh no, the safety car lights are still on. I thought for a moment they were off.
Have they just now this second gone out potentially?
No, still got yellow flags on the finish line. So I think we are going to go one more lap. Behind the safety car, still weaving around is Scott Parkin.
Quite a bit of glare now on the screen because the sun has come out.
Yes.
Making it quite difficult to actually spot the lights, but where you can see it quite clearly, there they are.
Now, I imagine we'll have a slightly quicker safety car lap this time, now that we know that the circuit is clear, just to try and maximise the amount of racing time that we get. I mean, the pit lane window opens in 6 minutes. I mean, it's going to there'll probably be one racing lap, and then it'll be open, effectively.
In the pure tactical mind here, if you've put your quick driver in for the start of this race, you are hating this.
Yes.
Because they're not doing anything about, being able to pull a gap at the moment for your slower driver to go into. I hate using terms like slower driver, but ultimately one has to be faster than the other, really. It's a sort of fact of racing, and is a genuine strategical element of endurance racing.
That's right. So making their way around once again. With I think the safety car is definitely going to get a bit of a wriggle on this time. It's just heading down to Agostini now. Scott Parkin then on pole. Then you've got Gadsby and Jones next up in the 117 car. So then Simerson and Stanton 55. etc., etc. A great range of different cars that we have in. Oh, and a spinner! That's not what we wanted, is it? That's the 172 car, which is that of Chris Heathcote in his Renault Clio. He's got going again, but he'll have lost his position now. He should be able to... no, because we're in the safety car, so he can't pick his way through and reclaim that position because the race has officially started. But he might not realise that, and he might try and reclaim places thinking, well, the race hasn't started yet.
Well, one of the Civics very nearly did the same thing just a couple of cars in front of him, which was quite astonishing. I imagine a lot of the front-wheel drive cars are struggling for tyre temperature in general.
Yes,
at the moment.
Because they've been doing sort of 4.25 minute laps so far.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race, 4 minutes 10 at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. That will soon change. The best lap in qualifying was for Scott Park in 2 minutes 3, so twice as fast, or half the time, should I say, that the laps have been taken behind the safety car. So yeah, quite a bit more temperature to find in the final tyres. Right, safety car lights are now out, I think. So we are going to be good to go racing properly this time, but already we've had 11 minutes of this Tegiwa Roadsports Championship race, and the pit window opening in less than 4 minutes time now. But yeah, safety car has now pulled away from everybody else, so it's in the gift of Scott Parkin to control the pace.
Yeah, and the BMW that's in second place isn't really going with Scott at all. It's just sort of giving him a good couple of seconds lead there. And if you see, by the time they come out of corner, and Paul Simpson is nowhere near on the back of them either. So they're going to be quite spread out when they get across the timing line. It is now green flags waving with Scott Parkin already with a 2.5 second lead over Gadsby, and Gadsby himself is 5.9 ahead of Ghost. Well, Simpson's had some sort of problem. That's why there were gaps.
Yeah.
Simpson's suddenly plummeting down the order. Problems for the GT4 BMW.
Yeah, but even so, there's a few drivers perhaps a little bit napping there. Now, Martin Gadsby is the slower driver of the two in that second place BMW. There's the Simpson car. That's now into to pit lane very early. Not a mandatory stop, too early for that. And also it's not parked at 45 degrees, as it would have to be for its mandatory stop as well. But a problem down there for the car that was starting on the second row of the grid.
Ex-Century Motorsport car in British GT. I can see Kieran's already sniffing around the BMW to see what the problem is, but it's not looking very good at all. It looked like it was going back into the garage.
No, so it's Scott Parkin with this big lead then. Is it still going to be Martin Gadsby in second place? Well, probably it was, because he got a 5.9 second advantage over Darren Goes in the Audi in third position. So it's a very strange race. That's not helped, I don't think, by that BMW heading into pit lane.
I think Gadsby was just estimating, if we'd been green from the start, how much gap would Scott have already had, just giving that back to him.
Very decent of him, isn't it, you know?
Just.
Round Williams they go, and on to the Bentley Straight for the first time in Anglewood, actually the fourth lap of the race. There's the Chris Nyland number 83 car, one of the front runners in Class B, actually third in Class B at the start of this race. Now we're going to get a change there. It looked like possibly that was the 18 car, was it, that was up to challenge the BMWs. That's Simon Morger that started that car, trying to find a way through on the inside into the bomb hole. Not able to get through there, but the next attempt is going to be at Corbin. I think that probably will come off, and he does indeed go second.
So our Silverstone winner already making up places, so that would have been from 5th to 2nd on this lap when you count in the Simpson BMW there as well. So up 3 places on this first green flag lap of the race, and we didn't see that Seat Cupra TCR car at the first round, but of course came out swinging at Silverstone, and the Gadsby BMW now coming under pressure from the 222 TCR car now.
Yeah, that's Darren Goes up the inside into Wilson. He's going to go through. Paul Browse in the Seat might try and go through as well. The 21 car, a spin for 5.31. That's Thomas Hiley that's gone around there. But yeah, it's Gadsby that is losing ground here in the early stage of this race, but possibly not unexpected, because Ian Jones very much the quicker driver in that particular car, and I'm sure we'll be able to make a good fist of things in the second half of the race.
Well, what we were talking about earlier, about there's so much of the first part of this race being under safety car, they've lost so much less time than they normally would have done. So
Yes.
that's really harsh when you say it like that, but it will give Ian Jones a massive advantage in the second part of the race.
I mean, he could come in theory, at the end of this lap, because the pit lane window is going to be open in 3, 2, 1 seconds time. Oh, and that's just a bit too early. Is the number 20 car coming into the pits? That's the Vitortas Pipras on the Civic Type R for the drive from Ipswich, the Lithuanian. So that's an unscheduled stop, I think, for him.
And that is a new shell this season as well, that Civic Type R. He was previously part of the foundation lineup in Club Enduro, was he not?
Yes, he was, certainly. Couple of seasons ago, that would have been.
That goes to show, you've been racing for, 2.5 years now from joining that foundation program. Of course, not great to see him in pit lane, but still racing out there after getting that slightly cheaper entry into 750 Motors Club racing.
Now that's Liam Crilly in the BMW Z4 that's now trying to get past the compact of Martin Gadsby, who's not giving him an awful lot of room there, nor does he have to really. But now you're going to have the Honda pass him on the inside. They've got either side of Gadsby in the end. I think Crilly has gone through. But Mark Burton, what's happened to him? So, he has come through already, Mark Burton. So he's leading Class B still, a bit further up the road from those 2 or 3 cars that are battling there. So it's Burton in 26 that's leading Class B. Class C is being led by Matt Creed, the number 123 Renault, that is, I think.
You can really see the difference in power down the start-finish straight between the Class A and Class B cars. But, in fact, both Crilly and that number 83 car of Christopher Nyland both end up going through at the Wilson hairpin. Nyland's got to consolidate that move into Palmer, but ultimately does manage to get the move done. And now it is the Lotus Elise, formerly the Class A car, an overall contender, as we see Sammy Bowler, unfortunately, pulling into pit lane. That former Mini Challenge machine having to come into pit lane.
And another place made up there. That's the 119 car, is it not, that has gone through? Yes, Sam Heading in the Lotus Elise S2 that is sharing with Peter Mansfield. He's now gone ahead of the Gadsby car as well. 88 into the pits. This is the championship leading car.
Yes, it was. And so, excuse me, I'd forgotten that we'd already gone into the pit window. So Sammy Bowler was actually just coming in to do a stop there, I think. And so that's the championship leader into the pit lane. I think it's going to be a hive of activity now. Everyone trying to take advantage of the fact that we've had so much safety car in the first part of this race. It is game on for second in Class B, because that is Chris Nyland in that Type R that's just gone through on the Z4 of Crilly. So second place in Class B, and the Lotus Elise of Sam Headley, the Rob Boston Racing Run machine, also challenging for a provisional spot on the class podium.
Matt Adcock taking over from Phil Adcock, but they've got a 20-second pit stop success penalty to serve, so it's an 80-second stop in all that they need to make. And that will put them at a real disadvantage, including to the likes of Pip Hammond, who's leading Class D at the moment today and only has a 10-second penalty to serve. So 10 seconds he will make up in the pit stops.
Pip running solo this weekend as well, but already back out into the race goes Matthew Adcock, just taken over. Got the Piprius car coming back out. Yes, it is. And so that had been in the pits for some time, hadn't it? About 4 minutes.
4 minutes, something like that, yeah.
It came in just before the pit window opened, and so now we get into this phase of the race where the order's going to seem a little bit jumbled up, especially between the 4 different classes. In terms of our top 4 and Class B leaders, we know there's not been any movement in the pits just yet, so those races are still sort of unfiltered, so to speak, but in the middle of the pack it's going to start to get a little bit tasty.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how the overall battle goes. I mean, the person that could really gain here is Darren Goes, who's in 3rd place at the moment because he's not got any pit stop penalty to serve here, not having competed in the championship in the past. But Scott Parkin's got 15 seconds to serve. The major car's got 10 seconds to serve. So both of those drivers that are ahead of him on track have penalties to be added to their time. So we'll see if Darren Goes can possibly come out on top of this race as far as the overall results are concerned. There's Scott Parkin just coming through now, about to complete lap 7 of the race.
You can hear
over the line.
You can hear the rotary engine of the Mazda RX-8 in the background, the supercharged engine, I believe.
That's right. Best lap of the race so far is still to the car in second place. Simon Marger with a 2:04.483 as the best lap of the race so far in this particular category. Lap record for these cars, a 2:02.36 for Scott Parkin, so still well outside that mark.
Right, we've been green for about 7 or 8 minutes or so already. We have got the first black and white flag for track limits being displayed, and that honour goes to Chris Morton in the Vauxhall Corsa in Class B. And that is not going to fill him with confidence, bearing in mind we've still got 24 minutes left in this race, and he's got to keep it squeaky clean in terms of those track limits.
Pip Hammond's been into the pits and is just heading out again now.
Yeah, so we'll see where he comes out in relation to the championship leader in Class D, the Matthew Adcock BMW. Pip yet to take a win so far this year, but has been third and second in the last 2 races.
There's Liam Crilly, number 12, who's contending for the Class B podium in the pit lane. So, see, I think he's just got, he's got 70 seconds to stop with a 10-second success penalty from a previous round of the championship.
Of course, that has, for now, promoted the heading Lotus Elise up to third in that category, and he's only 3/4 of a second away from Chris Nyland, who took second place away from that car right there just a few minutes ago.
There's only 8 minutes to go before the pit lane window closes, so of course drivers have really got probably 2 or 3 more laps in which to make their pit stops, because it is a long lap here.
Bear in mind, Jonathan Packer there, we saw that is the car that started from pit lane, the VW Golf, which has already made its way up into 18th position overall. So a very nice job done so far by Packer. Of course, no stranger to success in Club Enduro competition.
Yeah, more than halfway through the field already, so that's a really good showing. He's lapping in the 2:10s. And lapping faster than obviously quite a few of the cars ahead of him. Obviously helped by the fact that we've had a number that have made their pit stops, of course, and he has yet to make his stop. Mod's gone down into the 2:03s now, 2:03.836 for the car in second position. The gap between 89 Scott Parkin, the leader, and 18 Simon Major in second place is 7.7 seconds. Third place is number 222 Darren Goes. In fourth place it's the 221 car of Paul Browse. Fifth is number 83, that's Chris Nyland, leading now Class B on the road. And sixth is number 19, Wayne Lawson. Class C, Matt Creed is heading that on the road in the 123 car. And Class D right now is being led by Chris Fantana in the Mazda MX-5, which is number 22 and is 24th overall. But there's still a long way to go. 21 minutes to go, 6.5 minutes left of the pit window as well, with most of the drivers yet to make their stops.
So it is Major lapping slightly quicker at the moment. You do have to wonder where Major would have found himself had he not lost out so much in the start of the race, because you think about the gap that Parkin had after just a couple of corners with the car on the, quote-unquote front row of the grid when we got going again, not exactly being hot on his heels, and Simerson having to come in with a problem as well, which rather delayed everyone else behind him. So Scott has been given quite a bit of helpful real estate in this race. So it could come very much in handy in about 20 minutes time. So Thomas Hiley using a bit of the curb on the exit of the Brundle and Nelson complex. Talking about track limits, I think that is one of the areas where you can run slightly wide, and having to take that wider line through Coram as the Class A front runners make their way through.
18 Mordre is in the pit lane now from what was second position, so that's promoted Darren Goes on circuit. So We're just going to hand over now to Alan Blanco, isn't he, for the second half of the race, the former British Touring Car Championship driver. And so that, we'll see how that fares. Paul Grouse is in, Chris Nyland is now in, Sam Heading is in. So the cars in 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th all now into the pit lane, with obviously opportunities running out to make those pit stops.
And that's top 2 in Class B into pit lane there as well.
That's the 531 Mazda MX-5 of Thomas Hiley and Andy Hiley.
Andy out later today in Sports Specials.
Which is the next race,
well.
actually, after
Yeah,
this.
so he's going to get out of that car and go straight into his Kronos.
That would
which
seem to be the case.
But it will all really have to be in the assembly area, won't it? So I imagine someone else is going to have to take it there for him, and then he'll run from Parc Ferme over to the...
It makes you wonder why Andy Hiley didn't start this race, really.
It does make you wonder that, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, anyway, okay. 20 minutes of the race left to go. That is the 117 car, which has been taken over, I think, now by Ian Jones from Martin Gadsby. So where is that car running now? Is in 22nd position overall, but is on the up as the drivers make their pit stops. And it could be one that's not too far away from the podium positions when everything shakes out. It's one of these. It's quite difficult to see how this race is going to pan out. It's more difficult at a long circuit like this than it is at a short circuit, because there's sort of less updates on the positions, because we get fewer numbers of laps to check everyone's placings. We've got, I think that was, Crilly coming across the line just behind him, and just looking at positions. Yeah, up another 9 place on that lap was Jones, so he's now 13th and Crilly 14th, both of them having made their stops. Just having a look. So he's not going to be far away from the overall lead, isn't old Ian Jones, by the time all of this pans out. Darren Goes now is in the pit lane, by the way. Scott Parkin is yet to make a stop, but I think he's going to have to at the end of the lap that he is on. We're watching the 14 car there. That's Trevor Gregory, well known to anyone that's raced at the 750 Motor Club recently. He's out there in his Honda Civic Type R as in the pit. I think that's the Darren Goes car, isn't it?
The Audi TCR car, the RS3. Of course, no driver change to have to complete there, so we'll just sit stationary for the mandatory time. So we are yet to see Scott Parkin in, as well as Wayne Lawson in the top 2. Who else hasn't come in yet? The car currently leading Class C, which is the number 7 Daniel Perry Ginetta G40 GT5 car. And there is one more, which is the Sam McKee BMW, also in Class C. There are a couple a little bit further down, including the Class D leader, the Chris Fantana car. And like I said, they've got less than 2 minutes to do it now, haven't they? So it will have to be pretty much on this lap, won't it?
Yeah, everyone, or nearly everyone, has made their stops. Now Scott Parkin has just come in as well from the lead of the race, so he's just arrived down pit lane. You can see him, his team's showing him where to pull in outside the pit garage. So he actually leaves Wayne Lawson, I think, and Chris Fantana to make their stops. Wayne Lawson, who's showing in the lead of the race, but does need to come in this time. So that's Scott Parkin's car.
Just taking on some fluids as well.
Yeah, no refueling, but that's the car rather than the driver that applies to. So there goes the Chris Webster car, as it now is just coming out of the pit lane as well. The Flying Tangerine Racing Ginetta. Nice little scrap going on track there, including, I think that was that Mark Burton's BMW there, just ahead of Jonathan Packer. Was that? No, not Jonathan Packer. It's the 121 car, I think. Josh Johnson's Golf, of course. And so where are they in all of this? Well, that's Burton just getting ahead of Johnson now for 10th position overall and 4th place in Class B. So I think Burton probably hurt in the pit stops there. He had a 10-second success penalty to serve as part of his pit stops. Sam McKee is handed over to Samuel Russell, the Birmingham bus driver now.
Only his second ever motor race.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Be eyes wide open.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what bus route he drives in Birmingham. That's the number 11, the circular bus route that goes around the whole of Birmingham, or in which case that's a very long lap, even compared to the Snetterton 300.
I was going to say, the route is not going to be in the same shape as Snetterton, is it?
No, not going to help him.
No, not quite.
And it takes considerably long to complete a lap as well. So here is the erstwhile race leader, and I think even is showing on our time screen as still the race leader, but was confirmed at the end of this lap, and that is Scott Parkin. But he's got right behind him the number 2 car that's now being driven by Alan Henderson, who is shown as 27th place. Wayne Lawson's just heading back out into the race, having made his pit stop. So I think that's everyone now that has made their stop, which is just as well, because they're only now less than 15 minutes to go in the race. And it does mean what we see in terms of positions at the end of this lap will really reflect where we are for the final third of the 45 minutes that we've got, albeit the first 10 or so of that was run behind the safety car.
Henderson's sticking with him for now in that Lotus Elise. A great looking machine as well, coming up on a little bit of traffic, but Scott Parkin will get confirmation when they get over the timing line whether he does still have the lead of this race. The 18 machine of Alan Blencoe, the Seat Cupra TCR car, does still have the fastest lap of the race, though, on a 2:03.836, and it was 12 seconds registered at the timing line. That is a good headlight flash mod there on the Audi TT. Central one, I've not seen that before, and quite difficult to miss as well. So that is probably welcome for the driver inside the car, probably not for the ones that it sits in behind. So I think we are about to get confirmation that Scott Parkin is still the race leader, because he is about to go over the timing line. Pit lane closed is the message going out to the drivers, and yes, Scott Parkin does indeed lead. We wait to see what the gap to Alan Blencoe is in that number 18
There he is.
machine. Just gone past us now, so 10.4 seconds.
Yeah, so a decent lead that for Scott Parkin, and that's despite the fact he had a 5-second longer pit stop to make than the car behind him. So had a good run in that first part of the race to build up the gap that's enabled him to get out in front, still to the tune of 10 seconds. So he's looking good here for a overall and class victory in the 4th round of the championship. A reminder that he's had not yet had one so far this season, has he? He's always been second or third,
which is
this year.
odd to think, given how much he's been cleaning up in Club Enduro. Darren goes back into pit lane, though. The Audi TCR car, having only just recently emerged back out onto the racetrack, is back in. Of course, the pit window is closed anyway, so that would suggest that this is more mechanical or technical problems.
Yeah, no indication of any penalty, and of course that would have been served in a different position, but he is being now pushed back out. And it does look like they're waiting for something there. I don't know quite what it would have been, because they weren't working on the car, and I've not had any notification of a penalty, I don't think, or anything like that. So, slightly puzzling. But it does mean that Darren Gase, who we thought might be a contender for the victory here, is not going to be.
At the very least for the podium. And so that has promoted the 221 car of Paul Browse.
Yeah.
Another of the TCR cars, the Seat Cupra.
And Ian Jones up to 4th now in the BMW, started by Martin Gadsby, and lapping faster than any of the cars ahead of him as well. So that's one that could make its way into the podium positions before the end of this race. Some very tight battling down the order, and picking his way through that as well was Scott Parkin. There's been some contact, can see out of our commentary box window at Ridges, which involved Scott Parkin. Yellow flags now out. Now Scott Parkin continued. I think he has, but one other car was involved. But Scott Parkin certainly involved in some contact up there at Rich's corner. We didn't catch that on camera, but I did manage to see that out of the commentary box window. and we'll see if that has done any damage to that race-leading Audi or delayed him. He's got Alan Henderson right behind him in that Lotus, which is a lap down effectively, but Alan, a very rapid and competent driver, able to sort of lap in the same kind of lap times, but actually a full lap behind him. Just looking at the class situation as well, Chris Nyland now has handed over to Will Potskill, so Will Potskill is leading in Class B from Liam Crilly. The gap between those two is just shades under 4 seconds. And Class C, that is still being led by Matt Creed, and he's got perhaps 7.5, 8 seconds in hand over the number 9 car of Luke Beardmore in the Mazda RX-8. And Class D is Pip Hammond leading by 4.5 seconds from Matt Adcock, as it now is.
So it'll be 2 first-time winners if it were to stay like this. Scott Parkin for Class A in the overall, Pip Hammond in Class D for this season at the very least, and on for the 83 as well. That would be a first win, would it not, for William Potskill and Chris Nyland. I was looking at the wrong class, but it was still correct. So
all good.
I shouldn't have said anything. And then, yes, did you say it was leading in Class D at the moment?
Pip Hammond.
Class
Class C, Matt Creed.
C is Matt Creed, and that would be a second victory of the season for Matt in the Clio. Obviously won the first race of the season at Croft, but as it stands, we're going to be adding 3 new winners to the rostrum for this season.
We've had lots of different winners across the classes so far this year, and it's good that we're looking like we might get some more new ones today, even if at least one of them is someone who you kind of think should have won already, Scott Parkin. Let's head down to the pit lane, where Kieran Mogg has news for us.
Yes, thank you very much. Obviously, there's a lot going out on track at the moment, but there's also a lot going on back in pit lane as well. So we've just had car 222 coming in. It turns out they were clashing on 4th gear, also then struggling to select some reverse as well. So that car's having some difficulty with the gearbox. Car 55 had a complete brake failure. They've managed to get it in, sort the brakes out, and they're back out. It's a real shame for them, obviously. And then Ryan Parkin's car is back in the paddock now. They've got it, all the wheels off and everything. It's up on jack stands, and it literally looks like the lower arm has just completely snapped off. It's a big shame for obviously them. Massive to have some of these drivers out of the race and having some difficulties, but that's motorsport for you. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Kieran. Kieran Mogg down there in pit lane. 7.5 minutes to go. There's our Class B leader, Will Pottergill, in the number 83 Kant Holland backed Honda Civic Type R. He's got only now 1.8 seconds in hand over Liam Crilly in the BMW, because Crilly has just done his personal best lap of the race, a 2:08.69. On the last lap, Pottergill did 2:10.907. So if it keeps up at that rate, the two of them are going to be together before, much longer, because there's still 7 minutes of the race left to go. So we could have a fight on our hands for Class B. Might we for Class C? Just having a look there. No, I don't think we will. I think, if anything, Matt Creed is getting away in the lead of that class. And the Class D, Phil Hammond to Matt Adcock. The gap did come down by about 7/10 that time, so we'll keep an eye on that. But looks like the best battle here, Chris, is going to be for Class B honours. Now,
Will driving the same car, but a very different looking end result to when he had that car in the Type R Trophy, the Motion Motorsports prepared machine. And the gap is coming down 1.7 seconds. Last time they went through the timing split, it's looking a bit less than that now, isn't it, between the Civic and the Z4, as they make their way around the bomb hole and then into Coram. You see the weight transfer. It's what I love. A corner like Coram, you can really see the weight transfer on, particularly on the Civic. There, the Z4 is looking a bit stiffer. Whoa, hey! All over the curving there for the Class B leader Pottergill. Now that probably has compromised his exit out of Murray's.
Someone's getting a 5-second penalty, I can see there. Is that anyone important as far as the race is concerned?
Well, meanwhile, it's side by side for the Class B lead into Ritchie's, and Crilly does go through with relative ease, in fact, in the end, after that two-wheeled moment for Puttergill coming through Murray's. And it is a change for the leading Class B with 5 minutes to go.
Absolutely, and the other driver that's on the podium positions for Class B is Mark Burton, and he's one of the drivers to get a 5-second penalty, the most significant thereof. The others aren't inside the top 20, but Mark Burton gets a 5-second penalty, and that will drop him down, I think, down one position behind the Samuel Dennis Ethan Simmons car as well. So he's got a few minutes to just try and pull out a bit of a gap. But new class leader, I think it was probably on the cards. Liam Crilly has come through to take the advantage there within Class B, and yeah, that's looking good for him. What would be another new class winner?
So if Burton does end up losing the podium there, then that would be the first podium of the season for Sam Dennis and Ethan Simmons since the first meeting of the season at Croft for their Motion Motorsport prepared Civic, which would be very nice to see. I know Ethan's a very ambitious young chap, former British Karting Championships, and aiming for a spot on the British Touring Car Championship grid in the years to come.
So with about 4 minutes of the race to go, it's number 89 Scott Parkin that leads. Number 18 Alan Blanco is second. There's 13.5 seconds between them. There's another 25 seconds or so back to Ian Jones, who now is up to third position in the BMW, and I think that's about as far as he's going to get, but he has made up ground here. He's got past Paul Browse and Wayne Lawson here to get onto the podium, so good effort from him. Fourth, 221 is Paul Browse. Fifth and 19 is Wayne Lawson. Then it's our Class B leader, which is now number 12 Liam Crilly. Then it's Will Puttergill in the Honda, who will be 7th. Mark Burton, number 26, will be the 8th before time is corrected. 9th will be number 1, Ethan Simmons, and rounding out the top 10 will be the number 8, Janetta of Chris Webster. Class C, just checking if that's still going the way of Matthew Creed in the 1-2-3 car. Yes, it very much looks like it is.
We talked about the Class D lead coming down. It's 3.6 seconds, and Matt Adcock is lapping about half a second quicker at the moment than Class leader Pip Hammond.
Although Pip had just his best lap of the race, hadn't he?
Yes.
2:21.
So the pace is very much in favour of the chasing car, but it's just under 3 minutes to go, and Scott Parkin will soon be starting his penultimate lap of the race, very much in a rather commanding lead now in this race, 13.6 to the good over Alan Blanco. And surely we'll soon be adding another new name to the winners pile of this year, and indeed new ones to the podium as well, because for Major and Blanco as well, they haven't been. Well, Alan Blanco has actually been out, hasn't he? So far this.
He's been with Claire Norman at Silverstone, I think.
Yes.
Into the pits is the 10 car. It's the Rob Fenwick BMW M2. Where was that running? Well down the order, I think.
Not anywhere of any significance,
no,
was it?
No.
Really, because it's a Class B car, is it not?
It's an A-class car.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's the Fenwick car, isn't it?
Clearly some difficulties in the earlier part of the race. It should be one that should be up inside the top 10, you would think, overall.
It's first year in Class A for Robin, is it not? Because he was spent quite a few years in the Class C Janetta.
I think you may be right, but yeah. So we've got a minute to go. There'll be just time for one more lap, I think, at the end of this one for Scott Parkin. Is that the Packer car behind him now? Yes, it is.
I'm curious how much is Scott cruising here, because that Henderson Elise that was hounding him for a while has gone through and sort of scampered off down the road, really. And it almost looked like for a second that Jonathan Packer was going to give him a hard time.
Well, he's a couple of seconds inside the pace he was setting earlier on, and of course, I said he got a lap record in this category in the 2-minute 2s. So,
but that would have been in the superior car, wouldn't it, with the sequential gearbox and the nice suspension? So I don't think we're actually going to trouble that.
Doesn't look like
weekend.
It today.
It's actually, obviously, it's the same cars we see in Club Enduro. The Roadsport lap record is slightly quicker.
Car 5, which is Jonathan Packer, who's off from the pit lane, is going to get an 18.7 time penalty, second time penalty. That's because of an unsafe release. He's going to serve that in lieu of the stop-go penalty. Pip Hammond fans, there he is. He's being lapped by Scott Parkin here in his Class D Vauxhall Nova.
I do believe that Packer car, by the way, should have Jamie Hadley at the wheel of it.
Oh, yeah, right.
So let's give credit where it's due.
Absolutely. But probably neither of them responsible necessarily for the unsafe release. They'll have done what they were told to do by the team.
Oh, yes, not credit for the penalty. No, I would never do that.
So, watching Pip Hammond, who is going to win Class D here because he's got, still about a 3 or 4 second gap over the Adcock. So we're going to take second here. And obviously it was very tight in the championship. There's still 2 more meetings to go after this for the Roadsports. They go to Silverstone and then to Donington Park to round out the season.
But they should very much consolidate the championship lead now, because the car they were tied on points with, which is the Jez Banks Daniel Perry Ginetta, is only 7th in Class C at the moment. And coming into this weekend, they both had 2 wins, a 3rd place finish, and 2 fastest lap bonus points as well. So it's very much in favour of the Adcocks at the moment, as Scott Parkin about to meet the checkered flag.
Yeah, and get his first win of the season in the Tegiwa Roadsports Championship. Although he leads Class A in the Championship by a reasonably healthy margin, he's been consistent without getting the win up until now, but he's emerged from Murray's. He's flashing his lights as he comes across the line in a moment. Checkered flag goes out to him, and it's Scott Parkin then that takes the victory. He wins the 4th round of the Tegiwa Roadsports Championship by a fairly convincing margin in the end over Alan Blanco, who's just crossing the line now. There he is, and 14.1 seconds is the gap. And it's going to be a bit further down the road. Ian Jones and Martin Gadsby, who take 3rd place. We'll try and pick up on the class winners too as they go through. The rest of the cars just down. I think Matt Creed I can see possibly in the background is shortly to come through to take the Class C honours in car 1, 2, 3. Yes, there he is now. There's Matt Creed, our Class C winner.
And Pip Hammond has also gone through to take the Class D honours. And so that is another new winner added to the rostrum, and should soon be expecting Liam Crilly to do the same for his Class B victory.
Yeah, he's just on his way out of the Murray's. He's got the Chris Snyder, the William Puntical car a bit closer to behind him again towards the end, but there he goes. There is our Class B winner, the number 12 car, Liam Crilly, another new class winner as far as this season is concerned.
And just to confirm that last spot on the podium as well, and it is the number 1 crew of Sam Dennis and Etienne Simmons that managed to beat Mark Burton to 3rd position after that time penalty for the BMW driver.
Fastest lap in the end has gone to Alan Henderson.
Yeah.
2:02.846 on the final. No, he didn't go even faster. 2:02.456 on the last lap of the race. He'd unlapped himself and got to within a minute 55 of the race lead. So he was really pushing on, and could have been a victory contender had he had a strong start to the race.
That's 900ths away from the lap record, but it is quicker than the Club Enduro lap record.
Okay. Well, a very impressive effort from Alan Henderson. Let's have a look at the results. Scott Parkin, number 89, took the win in the Audi TT TTI. 19 laps completed for him in the 45 minutes. Second was number 18, Simon Modger. Alan Blanco, 14.1 seconds behind. Third, number 117, Martin Gadsby and Ian Jones, 42.5 seconds behind. Third, 221, Paul Browse, fifth, number 19, Wayne Lawson. Sixth and winning Class B, number 12, Liam Crilly. Seventh was number 83, Chris Nyland and Will Puttigan in their Honda, behind the BMW of Crilly. They were second in Class B. Third in Class B and eighth overall, number 1, Sam Dennis and Ethan Simmons. Then ninth, 26, Mark Burton. 10th, number 8, Matthew Tidmarsh and Chris Webster. Darren Goes, after an extra pit stop, was 11th in car 222. 12th was 121, Josh Johnson. 13th was the 57 car of Heisman and Delgado, the BMW. 14th, that heroic effort from Alan Henderson, sharing with Daniel Jude in the Lotus Elise. 15th, number 60. That's the car of Reynolds, and it's the Brookses. Jonathan Packer had that penalty, but is classified 17th. John Dundee, 18th. Then Matt Creed, 19th overall and winning Class C. The next two in Class C were 22nd. That's the 11th car of Simon Baker and 9 Luke Beardmore, both of them in the Mazda RX-8. And if we move on to the next screen, we should be able to see our Class D winner. There he is, number 71, Pip Hammond from the Adcocks, Phil and Matt. And then Chris Fantana, third in Class D in 34th position overall on a big grid that had well over 40 cars start the race. That's the confirmation of the final few. I think one or two that didn't get to the checkered flag. So that's Roadsports done. We've got an even longer race tomorrow for the Tegiwa Club Enduro Championship, a couple of hours long, so we look forward to that, don't we, Chris?
Hopefully with less safety car.
Yes.
And not quite as encroaching at the start as well.
Absolutely. It would be good to have a good, clean, full race distance without the safety car. Still lots more racing to come here today at Snetterton. We are going to have the Freaky Park Sports Specials Championship next. Then we've got Low Costs, Type R Trophy and MX5s. Then we'll round out the day with the categories that started the day, the Race Part 750 Formula Championship and the Armed Forces Race Challenge. From here on in, it's all sprint races, 15 minutes with the exception of the Armed Forces race, which was going to be 20, which is a change to the published timetable. And we look forward to all of that very shortly. Hopefully we'll have a word with our Roadsports class winners, I would think, in a moment. Kieran Mogg will no doubt be down in Parc Ferme now, just trying to round everyone up to find them to. He's ready to go now, we're hearing, so let's head down to Kieran.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're down here with Scott. So, interesting race. Obviously, shame about what happened to Ryan, but you didn't manage to keep it completely out of the battles in the end.
No, exactly. Bit gutted for Ryan. Looks like one of the rose joints for the bottom arm snapped, maybe. Not ideal, but at least it happened on the green flag lap rather than turn 1, lap 1, and that would have caused carnage. So, gutted for that. As soon as the safety car boards came out, I thought, right, we're on a safety car restart here, so I need to catch the guys out behind. So managed to get a pretty decent lead, I think a few seconds over the line on the first lap. And I'm not quite sure what happened behind, hopefully you guys caught whatever happened, but ended up with like a 10-second lead. Then Major and Blenko in the Cupra were just chipping away. Then they pitted, I pitted, and they were still chipping away, but I think they just run out of laps. So yeah, fortunate, Ryan helped me out, but we didn't plan it. So and then I need to go and apologise to Lawton in the RX-8. I sent a move down the inside that, in hindsight, he probably didn't see coming, and we collided. It's damaged my arch, and I think it's damaged the side of his car. So I'll go and speak to him in a minute, and hopefully he's not too mad at me.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of a cluster, and because obviously Ian and Chris spotted it before the cameras actually spotted it, so we didn't actually see the incident on the stream.
Right.
But yeah, it's obviously unfortunate for it to happen that way. At least, obviously, you both get another shot at it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully he doesn't see it as another chance to knock me off. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you and the team. Hopefully tomorrow you can get 2 cars up there.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot for the team. They've worked pretty hard, and I'm sure they'll be working hard tonight to get it sorted as well. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. All right, now we have got to wrap it up. We do have, very, very quickly, 83, very quick, sorry. Very interesting race. Just managed to pit at the end.
Yeah, just got done at the end. A bit of a battle through traffic, and you picked the right side, I picked the wrong side, which just cost the time. That BMW can't really live with it on the straights. But yeah, a decent race. Our main event's tomorrow, so we're happy with the form today, and go again tomorrow for the big one.
Absolutely, congratulations. All right, thank you very much. All right, now we have got to unfortunately wrap it up as we've got cars on the grid.